Hi friends, my name is Ailani and welcome back to my channel. Here I talk about all things healing, transformation, and the mind-body-spirit connection. I will relay a message for y'all today, and before I get into it, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like, share, comment, and let's do this. So, I took a little bit of a break in just this type of content specifically, but I've been led to really relay the stuff. So if you are listening to this right now, if you're tuned in, again, I'm gonna emphasize and highlight, stay to the end. And if you do stay to the end, it's because you need to hear it. All right. So for this collective right now, you are possibly moving soon. You're possibly moving soon, and although it can look physically, it is a lot more of an internal move. And what I mean by that is when you think of moving, you are literally either getting rid of stuff that you're not going to take with you, or you're packing up certain belongings, right? You are, maybe getting things in order. So maybe you already have a place that you're looking at, or a place that you already know that you're going towards, right? Like if you get a new apartment, you know that you're moving into this new apartment, so you know the space that you're working with, right? You also know, maybe you did prior research. Some people don't, but some people do, right? Maybe you did prior research of the area that you're moving to, right? So this is kind of you doing an inventory check and an analysis per se of what you are going towards in the future, right? Because you may still be in the same location, but you know where you're going, okay? And this can be metaphorical and literal. So in the literal sense, maybe you know that you're moving in, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, right? And because you have this certain time window, there might be certain deadlines that you have, or certain things that you need to do beforehand, right? You know you have this deadline, so you can't wait 7 months to do it because you already need to be gone by then. Okay? And this can be metaphorical as well, of you being in a situation right now, or you being in a time of your life where you're doing this kind of reevaluation in a way, and not so much of like having to ponder and reflect on every single aspect of your life, because you've probably already done that. You've probably have done a lot of inner work, so you have a good understanding of the progress that you've made, but also what you're willing to take with you and what you don't want to take with you anymore. Okay? And this can be behaviors, this can be people, this can be beliefs, patterns, all different aspects. It could even be character traits or parts of you that you've outgrown, So just keep that in the back of your mind of like, you're doing this right now because you are setting yourself up for whatever you define as success, okay? And success is something that looks different to every person, okay? If you want to go through a societal view, right, maybe there are specific plans and actions that you are taking right now to get to that success, right? And simultaneously, you may also feel like it's been a bit of a delay. And the reason for that is because there needs to be a deeper level of trust, okay? And when I say a deeper level of trust, I'm not just saying, to trust the process. I'm saying trust yourself, trust the decisions that you make, but also realizing in moments when you cannot trust yourself, you need to trust God, okay? And easier said than done, but especially when you are in a moving process. And excuse my daughter, she's a hungry girl, and she just ate, but she's been, I don't know, this growth spurt thing. One sec. Okay, on the topic of metaphorical and literal moving. So let me paint the picture for you. And this will be easier if you have moved recently or you know the moving process, which I assume most people do. On top of you basically evaluating what you are going to pack up and take with you and what you're going to leave behind or what you're going to sell or, give away or donate, right? Apart from that, there is also the aspect of relationships, okay? Whether that be your work relationships, your personal relationships, your family relationships, depending on where you currently are, you may already have a support system or an ecosystem that you're comfortable in, right? That you have familiarized yourself with. And when you move, there is that aspect of letting go, right? And it's not that all these relationships are just going to completely fade away, but when there is a physical distance between either a person or a space, or just an energetic distance, right? You're naturally going to be put into new places, new environments, new ways of being, because the old is no longer there, right? The old is no longer really present in your reality. You literally, if we're talking in the metaphorical sense, you have quite literally leaped into a new reality, okay? You have leaped into a new reality. So therefore, it's a bit of you're in a bit of a period where you're almost grieving the old. There could be some grief, okay? And that's okay. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to reflect on what was, all right? And simultaneously, you are a new person. You, if you're moving, you are going to be in a new space, in a new place, okay? And that's the natural cycle of growth. It's the natural cycle of growth. So I'm also receiving right now that there might be old things coming up right now. There might be old patterns, old memories, specifically with relationships and opportunities and doors that you thought were closed, and they may be a slight opening again, right? There's an opening again, but be mindful maybe you either missed that chance, missed it, right? You don't really miss anything, but you either missed it, or you chose not to go through that door, or you chose not to stay in that path, right? You have a second chance, but not in the way that you would really want, in a sense. And not to say that you can't go through that door again, but there was a reason that door closed. There was a reason that path was no longer in resonance with you, right? So even though the opportunity is presenting itself, it doesn't mean that you have to take it. Even though the opportunity is presenting itself, it doesn't mean that it's actually in alignment with the highest iteration of you, or the highest path that you could take. And I apologize if there's background noise. We're doing the things. Anyways. So part of this, in way of having old cycles come up, and having old conversations, old relationships, old opportunities, these things, it's really for you to almost come into a full circle and allow the cycle to fully complete, to fully close, okay? Because when you become aware that you have been in a loop, when you become aware that you have been in repeated patterns, right? And you notice, hey, like, I know that I'm a different person. I know that I'm not the same person I was, a few months ago, last year, a few years ago. So what is this showing me right now, right? And this time, I'll say, this time, it is truly a final goodbye. It's a final goodbye. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I feel like maybe somebody, if this hit you in a way, I'm feeling it. But it's a final goodbye. And it's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel, all these different things. But you need to trust. You need to trust. You need to trust. You need to trust that the path that you are on is the greatest path that you can be right now. And even though there were other paths that maybe looked great, sounded great, maybe even felt great at certain points, you are different now. You are different now. And you moving, right? You moving into a new place, this new space, this new you. It was all orchestrated. It was all orchestrated for you to come back home. To come back home. And you're not even having to do anything, let's say, hard anymore. The hard part is done, okay? You have made it through the hardest parts, if not of this season, of your entire life, okay? You have made it through some very, very heavy and difficult things. And yes, there's going to be some grief. Yes, there's going to be some things of like, maybe I could have done it differently. Maybe I should have done it differently. But you're here now. You are in this present moment right now. And the reality that you're in is very different from the reality that you were. Okay? And we all have free will, right? We can choose differently. We can choose different ways of being. But if you really think about all the work that you've done to get to this point, God will not let you go backwards. God will not let you waver. God will not let you. And And you can try to fight it. You can try to rebel. You can try to, hold on to the old. You can try to hold on to the old, but it's going to cause a lot more pain. It's going to cause a lot more pain because you are fighting the inevitable. You are fighting the inevitable. So I want to end this on a uplifting note for you of you see the light. You are in the light. You are the light, okay? And wherever you go, you will take that light with you. So it doesn't matter if you're here, if you're there, if you're in freaking China, okay? You will take that light wherever you go. And because of that, you will also be surrounded by it as well. Okay? So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to doubt. There's nothing to beat yourself up about. You have done the best that you can to get to this point. And now allow yourself to say goodbye. Allow yourself to say goodbye to what no longer is, and trust God. Trust that everything moving forward is just going to get better. Okay? So I love you. If you made it through, thank you. And I will see y'all on the next episode.